The other big story is happening across the border in Pakistan, where in Lahore, the city came to a standstill literally as hundreds of thousands of Imran Khan's supporters squared off with the police outside his residence in Zaman Park. Islamabad police in riot gear and armoured vehicles landed up with a court order, which was essentially an order to arrest Imran Khan. This was in connection with the Toshakhana case, in which Khan was accused of unlawfully selling gifts from foreign dignitaries. The arrest warrant was issued after Imran Khan failed to appear in court despite repeated summons. But the cops were met with hundreds of supporters of Imran Khan's party, the Tehreek-e-Insaaf. The party had circulated messages to its cadre to turn up in large numbers at Zaman Park. The result was violent street battles in which Khan's supporters pelted stones and bricks and used slingshots at the police. The police hit back at the protesters. They fired water cannons on them and in some cases even baton charging the angry protesters. Several of them were dragged away by the police amid these clashes. Pakistan has been plunged into political unrest ever since Imran Khan was ousted from power in April last year after losing a no-confidence vote. He was replaced by Shahbaz Sharif as the Prime Minister. And earlier this evening, Imran Khan released a video message asking people to fight for their rights even if he is jailed or killed.
पुलिस मुझे जेल में पकड़ने के लिए आ गई और उनका ये ख्याल है कि जब इमरान खान जेल में चला जाएगा तो कौम सो जाएगी। आपने इनको गलत साबित करना है। आपने ये साबित करना है कि ये जिंदा कौम है। ये मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की उम्मत है। ये ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह के नारे के ऊपर बनने वाली कौम है। आपने अपने हकूक के लिए, हकीकी आज़ादी के लिए आपने जदोजहद करनी और निकलना है बाहर। देखिए, इमरान खान को अल्लाह ने सब कुछ दे चुका है। मैं आपकी ये जंग लड़ रहा हूं। मैं तो अपनी सारी जिंदगी जंग लड़ी और लड़ता रहूंगा, लेकिन अगर मुझे कुछ होता है या जेल में जाता हूं या मार देते हैं तो आपने ये साबित करना है कि इमरान खान के बगैर भी ये कौम जदोजहद करेगी और ये बदतरीन गुलामी इन चोरों की और ये जो एक आदमी फैसले कर रहा है इस मुल्क के, ये कभी आप कबूल नहीं करेंगे।
So what exactly is this Toshakhana corruption case that's put Imran Khan in the dock? It came to the fore in August of 2022 when the PMLN government filed a case against Imran Khan. They accused him of not disclosing information on the gifts that were presented to the state depository, which is called the Toshakhana. The Toshakhana stores gifts as well as expensive items that are received by public officials, including the Prime Minister. As per the rules, it is compulsory for all public officials to report these gifts and other such materials that they've received. But when Imran Khan became Prime Minister in 2018, he resisted disclosing the details of many of these presents. His argument was that the disclosure would severely impact relations with other countries. Later, Imran Khan wrote to the Election Commission of Pakistan admitting to selling at least 4 such presents. He also said that he bought them from the government by paying a percentage of their value. Now, what were these gifts? These included multiple Rolex watches, which were worth more than 5 million Pakistani rupees, a Graf watch, which was gifted to him reportedly by the Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It was valued at 85 million rupees. A pair of expensive cufflinks valued at more than 5.5 million Pakistani rupees. A pen which is worth 1.5 million Pakistani rupees, and even a ring which is valued at nearly 9 million Pakistani rupees. Now, almost 2 months after the case, which was filed against Imran Khan, the Election Commission of Pakistan said that these sales per se were not illegal because the items belonged to Imran Khan and that he had paid for them, but they did accuse him of engaging in unethical behavior, making false assertions and erroneous declarations. The poll body barred Imran Khan from holding public office for a period of 5 years. This triggered huge protests by PTI workers in front of Election Commission offices across the country. Multiple instances of vandalism were reported during these demonstrations, and the protesters clashed with the police like they did today. Imran Khan is currently involved in more than 30 cases. Here are some of the big ones. The big one, of course, is the Toshakhana corruption case, where today the court issued an arrest warrant for Imran Khan and instructed the police to present him on or before the 18th of March. There is another case in which he has been accused of threatening a judge at a public gathering. That non-bailable warrant, which was issued against Imran Khan, has been suspended till the 16th of March. Last year, the Election Commission of Pakistan initiated contempt proceedings against him, as well as other PTI leaders, for using objectionable language against the Chief Election Commissioner. But the Lahore High Court has suspended those bailable warrants. Imran Khan is also accused of receiving prohibited funding but he's managed to get interim bail in that case. And there is also an attempt to murder case filed against him by a member of the PMLN. Last month, he got bail in that case. So, Professor Brahma Chalani, strategic affairs expert, joining us. Raja Faisal is a senior Pakistani journalist from Islamabad. Professor Chalani, of course, Imran Khan is doing a lot of histrionics around these two cases. The cases per se may not be strong against him, but the attempt to try and whip up sentiment, is that to keep himself politically relevant? Is that because he knows that this current government is unpopular? It's having to take unpopular decisions because of the IMF constraints and because of the financial constraints that the country is going through. Therefore, he's raising the temperatures, knowing full well that that's the only way he can keep himself politically relevant.
You're right. That is, behind the drama is a bigger power play. The power play is about the military. The army has always been the main power force in Pakistan. It helped Imran Khan rise to power. He became prime minister in August 2018 with the help of the army. And when he fell out with the army, he was deposed in a no-confidence motion in 2022. And the same thing happened with Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif, the older brother of the current prime minister, and the current prime minister, Shahzad Sharif, is in power with the support of the military. Nawaz Sharif fell out with the military over national security policy, and the military then began to undermine him and eventually helped oust him. And as often happens in Pakistan, when the prime minister is ousted with the help of the military, then corruption charges follow against that person. It happened with Nawaz Sharif, it's happening with Imran Khan. So this drama has been played out in Pakistan repeatedly. The fact is that the present government of Shahbaz Sharif is unpopular. Mm-hmm. It's unpopular for a number of reasons, because the military has created the mess in which Pakistan finds itself, and Shahbaz Sharif is only the civilian base of de facto military rule. But unlike his brother Nawaz, Shahbaz has maintained cordial relations with the military, which explains his rise as prime minister. But Shahbaz knows that he has little control over the military's use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy, or the military's use of a pliable judiciary against, let's say, Imran Khan. So what we are seeing in Pakistan is the mess in that country being worsened by this power play in which the army is a central player.
So, Raja Faisal, you're already going through massive economic turmoil. You don't need me to outline, the kind of stuff that Pakistan and the government there is being forced to take because of the economic situation. But do you see any kind of resolution to this political situation, as Professor Brahma Chalani explained? The fundamental reason why this political face-off started was because Imran Khan and the army fell out. Do you see any sort of rapprochement between Imran Khan and the army? Or, just because the actors change, the players change, it doesn't mean that the relationship changes?
I think situation is not that simple. Right now, if we look at, obviously, Pakistan's politics, Pakistan's army, Pakistan's institutions, the powerful institutions, they have distanced themselves from the politics, because they have seen that for the past, of course, their involvement, the previous chief's involvement in the politics, it has brought a very bad name to the army. And the new chief, of course, he is distancing himself from the politics. But if we look at the current political situation, I don't see something improving in very near future. But here, important is that we are expecting provincial elections in coming days, and in these provincial elections, as my other colleague, he has said here that Imran Khan's position is very strong position. Mm-hmm. Earlier, I was talking to one of my friends, and while talking to him, he's a politician as well. I said to him, situation is as such that Imran Khan is facing a cricket match of his life, in which his opponents want him to run for 5 miles before the match starts. And this is a match which is taking place in the winters, and his opponents do not want him to wear any guards, do not want him to carry a bat to play with. do not want him to have any pads on, and they do not want him to have the neutral umpires as well. So this is the situation right now in which his opponents want him to come to election with, and of course his opponents, they are demanding that we require the level playing field. I don't know what kind of level playing field they require. And in
but
that,
Raja Faisal,
course,
it comes back to a simple question. Like Professor Shalani said, this government is clearly unpopular, not least because they've had to take these unpopular decisions. The only political alternative, as and when those elections happen, it'll happen this year or maybe it might get postponed, I don't know. But the only alternative when elections happen for an angry electorate, for an angry country, is Imran Khan. And he realizes that by daring the government to arrest him, he can actually, raise the stakes and become a political rallying point. In fact, for the government,
exactly.
Damned if they do and damned if they don't.
You're very right about it. And if we look at his political opponents, we know that his political opponents are all of the opposition parties. It's one against all of the odds. So PDM, Pakistan Democratic Movement, which calls itself, it is in the office right now, led by, of course, PMLN and PPP. There are 13 parties, all of them, they are against Imran Khan. And on the other side, of course, Imran single-handedly has the support of the people. By the way, a couple of days ago, I was at Zaman Park and I met with few of the leaders out there. And of course, being a journalist, it's my job to meet people out there. And the amount of the numbers I watched there, it was a huge number. Of course, people has gathered out there for their leader Imran Khan, and that is why we are seeing right now, on every important road of Pakistan, there are protests going on because people do not want for the time when he's captured by police.
Okay, so let me ask Professor Chalani then that how does this story now play out? You clearly, as Raja Faisal was saying, that the fundamental friction happened when Imran Khan and the former army chief, they clearly couldn't get along on a choice of appointments or whatever, but they fell out. There is nothing to show that those bridges have been restored. And yet at the same time, even the army knows how unpopular the current government is. So it's almost like something's got to give. What may that be?
Right now, given the fact that Imran Khan is the most powerful political force in Pakistan, the effort is to curtail his influence. Maybe sending him to jail and keeping him there for a while could be one way of eroding his popularity. But it's quite possible that actually jailing him might actually make him more popular.
Correct.
But the fact is that Pakistan's economic situation, far from getting better, may actually get worse in the coming months, given the fact that Pakistan is being forced to accept IMF conditionalities, and those conditionalities will increase economic woes in Pakistan. So the coming months are going to be critical for Pakistan economically, and because of the economic turmoil and the hyperinflation and other economic problems that Pakistan faces, including a very serious debt crisis, the political situation is unlikely to be stable. So in the coming months, we're going to see greater turmoil in Pakistan, economic and political. And Imran, of course, would seek to use this turmoil to his advantage. And the effort now is to clip his wings in ways that are possible. And I think these corruption cases that he's facing is an attempt to paint him as someone who really is out and out corrupt and to undermine his image. So this is a power game that is being played by the powerful elites in Pakistan, and the powerful elites in Pakistan are largely those that are either military elites or civilian elites that have the backing of the military.
Okay. Raja Faisal, I'll give you the final word. Again, I keep coming, unless there is some kind of rapprochement between the current military establishment and Mr. Khan, and if there's any evidence to that, please point us in that direction. But unless there is some kind of rapprochement, I don't see the situation resolving itself, because, like Professor Chalani said, if they are hoping to, jail him and thereby keep him quiet for a few weeks or a few months, it could actually end up having the opposite effect.
Yes, you're very right. And of course, Professor Chalani, he has pointed out a very good fact. And he has highlighted one point which I would endorse further. That is related to the Toshakhana case. If we look at, Toshakhana case, I mean, there are four things which are being said, that Imran Khan bought them from Toshakhana, which legally he could, and then later on he sold them. It is known about Imran Khan that in his life he has said that my house in Banigala, after I die, it should be sold and given it to Shaukat Khana Memorial Hospital. So what he did was he sold them and he sent it towards his charities, he sent it towards certain things. So here it's not that he sold and put it in the pocket.
Okay.
And by law, of course, he's not disallowed to do it. He's allowed to do it because after paying the amounts, that thing belongs to him. And it's up to him. Either he sells it or he
keeps it.
It's a sort of morality issue, which is
rather than a straight-up case of corruption.
If we look at what's the way
I'm out of time. I want to wrap up the debate, but thank you very much to both Professor Chalani as well as Raja Faisal. We'll see how this story plays out. One other critical thing for the Pakistan government in its calculation on whether to arrest or not to arrest Imran Khan is that you have the fasting season that's coming up later on this week. In fact, the month of Ramadan will begin. And once that happens, to arrest him in the middle of the holy month of Ramadan will have huge political ramifications in a way that it could make Imran Khan a much larger than life figure than he already is, and could potentially make him into a political martyr of some sort. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, an exclusive interview, in fact, the first reaction from the Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju on a whole host of issues, including, of course, the government stand on same-sex marriage and why the centre is opposed to it. Also, his first reaction on the decision by the Supreme Court to appoint a committee to choose Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. All that and more in an exclusive interview coming right up on the other side.